Okay, so today we'll discuss about the extra features of the application context. As I told you that we have two containers. One is a bean factory and another is an application context, which we studied in our earlier tutorials. And we also got to know that application context is nothing but a big brother of bean factory. It has implemented the bean factory interface internally. So, but application context provides some extra features as compared to the bean factory, which I told you that is the internationalization, that is resolving the text messages and the event handling. So we'll discuss these two extra features of our application context container, and today we'll discuss about the first feature, which is internationalization. As you all know, what is internationalization? It is nothing but displaying your home page in different languages depending upon the location where you are. So as you see, if we open Google, we get this below line. We want to display it in Hindi, English, Tamil, etc. By default we get it in English. So this is just nothing but supporting your application in different languages and resolving those text messages from those properties file. So that is the feature provided by application context. Let's see first this application running, which we created in the last tutorial. Okay, fine. So it's working fine. Now what does we mean by the term resolving text messages? So if we see with messages or supporting I-18, and that is internationalization, because there are 18 letters between the I and N, so we just write it as short form as I-18N. Okay, now let's see what we want. Often we don't want to hard code the certain text that we want to display to the user of your application. Often we want that, like here I'm displaying manager first address, manager second address, and manager third address. So this is the output we are showing. I don't want to hard code this, but I want this text to be changed depending upon your applicational being internationalized, and then display this text in that particular language. So I want this, that if a person in Tamil is opening this application, he or she should get this text in the Tamil. If we are opening it in India, we should get it in English. Similarly, in French, we want it in French. So this is what we want this text to be displayed to the user of my application, and that is being supported by the Spring application context container. So for application to support this internationalization, we just need the capability to resolve the text messages. What do you mean by this? Let's first do the working and then I'll explain you. So let me have so here I am having manager first address, right? So I will just keep this in my properties file. Similarly, I'll just create the multiple properties file just to show you how we support internationalization. One will have it in English, one will have it in French, and another will have it in default one. That if any of it doesn't match, it should display the text of the default one. Let's see how. Third address. Perfect. Let me just create one welcome. We need to create a key value pair only, so you can just simply write here, welcome to Spring application. Right, so I'll create this properties file. Let me create this with, I need to keep it in the src folder. Address text underscore en underscore us dot properties. Let me save it. Perfect. Let me create one more of French. In the Spring application inside the src folder. Right, so this is one more I have created. Let me have one more. Let me have it of our French. We don't know the French version of this, so just for your understanding, I'll type this French so that you get to know that the content which now it is being shown is in the French. Otherwise, you will write the French translation of this line, manager first address. But just for understanding which locale it picks up, as we studied in the other applications also, that locale is there which decides from which language it wants to display the content to the user of my application. So this becomes my French properties file. This becomes my English properties file, where we are having both the language and the country. So here we are having a language and the country. Next we are having only the language, and next which is only all the language. And other than this, if suppose it doesn't find anything of it, so we need to keep a one default messages, so that when a locale cannot be determined, or you can say the locale specific property file is not available, we should prefer this one. So just I'll keep simple properties file, that is a default one. It got hanged. Okay. This is my default one. Just address text dot properties. Right, clear? So now both the default and English and the French properties file is containing this key value pair. Even we have a French one also. Now we want this to support the internationalization. So let's see how we can do it. So Spring application context supports this parameterized messages by making them available to the container through the message source interface. We have a, let me tell you about this, that we have a message source interface in case of Spring that is supporting this capability of Spring resolving the text messages or supporting the internationalization. And this message source interface has various methods, which are obviously the abstract methods only of like get message with multiple different arguments. So this is the message, this is a method which will help you to get the particular message from the properties file. And now since this is an interface, so it needs to be implemented by some classes, and our application context container, the most importantly the application context, has implemented this interface, and thus we are able to use this get message in my application. So this is what the application context container has done. Bean Factory has not implemented this interface, but our application context has implemented this interface, and hence we can use all the methods of this message source interface and use this internationalization feature. Similarly, Springs also come with one more class being implementing this interface, that is known as resource bundle message source. Resource bundle, this will become clear when we'll be using it. Message source. So Spring, this is a class which has implemented this interface, so we can use this also, and even the application context. So both has implemented this interface of Spring to support the internationalization and resolve the text messages from the multiple properties file. So now let's see how we can use it. Right, okay, so let me just go to the display data. You can just simply use the application context. We can remove this shutdown hook for the time being. We will not close the container. Okay, so now since this application context is being available to us, the object is available to us, so we can simply use the method of it, right? Because we have it in our application. So context dot, I told you about the method is get message, so it will show you the intelligence get message, right? So we are having multiple get messages. So let me take the second one. Now it accepts 3 arguments, first, second and the third. So what is the first argument? First argument is my key which I want to display. So let me just take this, let me take the first one only. I'll take this key welcome and I'll use this key over here. And what does the second argument does? Second argument is the like parameters you want to pass to your properties file. So this will be the nothing but the parameters you want to pass. Like let me say I want to pass some parameters, so for the time being let me just keep it as null. I don't want to pass anything. And next is the locale I want to support. Let me simply do it also as null. Right, so now this will this is my simple get message. Where is your property file? Right, so welcome to Spring application. Let me just keep some parameters over here. So I'll place placeholders. And 1. So I just kept the 2 parameters over here, like 0 and 1, and I want to pass these parameters from my application. So what I can do is I can just simply create an new object array. Then I will pass the parameters. Say I'll say by is my first, then I'll say another one, right? And let me create a locale also. So we'll have a locale class from java.util, and here we'll pass that which language I want my application to be shown to the user. So you will use that locale over here. Let's determine that locale. I have multiple. For the time being, I'll just say English, right? So this is done. So we have an application context which has implemented this message source interface, and we have the object available of this application context. So we're simply using the get message, and this is new object by telecom and locale English. So now how it will read the properties file, that is very important. For this message source definition, first of all, it will look for the properties file which is matching the language and the country. So that will be considered first. If it doesn't find that, then it will go to the properties file having the language only. And if it doesn't find this one also, then it goes to the default properties file. So this is how the message source interface flow happens. First matching the language and country, then only language, and then my simple default message properties file. So we'll just see the running of this and the further implementation of resource bundle message source also in the next tutorial.